Hi guys, it's Vimbo, your internet friend, Vimbo, and I'm here with the Wednesday word, and my Wednesday word this week is travel. I actually wanted to wait until I got home to make this video, but I realized it's been a long summer of travel and now is as good a time as ever. As you can probably see, I am not actually home. I am filming this in a hotel. I am on a work trip at a really exciting conference, learning more about how to care for the demographic I serve in my role right now, working for a nonprofit. So I'm here for a work trip out of state, not home, and still I wanted to make a Wednesday word. And as with all of my other Wednesday words, you can check my playlist and see the other ones that I've created. I just want to share some tips I have because your girl has been traveling since the beginning of July, including I did have one personal trip in July with family. But since then, I've been traveling, I would say like 9 or 10 weeks out of like the last 12 weeks. So most of the past 3 months, I have been on the road, not really on the road, in the sky. I was traveling during the big IT outage of 2024. I actually almost got stuck in Texas for a work trip. I was at a conference, and so that was interesting. But my Wednesday word this week is travel. I want to share with you just some tips I have that seem a little silly, but I think they are helpful for everyone and not just me. So a little bit of context. This summer, I have traveled to Georgia. I have traveled to Texas. I have traveled to Florida. I have traveled to Wyoming, and I have traveled to Zimbabwe, having an overnight layover in South Africa. So when I say I have traveled a lot. And now I'm in Tennessee. So travel is just the name of the season I'm in right now. And like I said, most of it is work related, but there is a little bit of it that in there that has had to do with family and things like that. So very exciting. That being said, I want to share with you 3 tips for travel that you might find useful. And the first one is don't skimp on self-care when you travel. So what do I mean by that? I used to be the kind of traveler who's like, I'm not gonna drink water because I don't wanna wake up the person sitting next to me when I have to go use the restroom mid-flight. Well, when you have a flight across the ocean and you are on an airplane for 16 hours, you're gonna need to use the restroom. And if you have a middle seat or a window seat, it's just the name of the game. People in the aisle seats, they know, and that is their burden in life. So one thing that really has helped me this summer is even probably better than when I'm at home, I've been really good about my intake of water while traveling. Now, when I was in Zimbabwe last month, it was a little bit harder to, I don't know just why, I just didn't drink water as much, so I had more headaches. But if you can, stay on top of things like your water, try to get a good night of rest, all of those different little things, because when you're traveling, as you probably know, if you're like me, in the past, I normally just get sick every time I travel because your immune system is weaker and you're tired and you're not drinking water. And this time, I've been traveling since like beginning of July. It's almost October now, and I haven't really gotten sick. So I'm so grateful to God for that. And I also think it's because I've really tried to rest when I can, drink my water, get fresh air, just basic self-care stuff. So my first tip is if you're traveling a lot or traveling at all, try to still treat yourself like a regular human. Eat, exercise, get water. Super important to regulate us. My second thing is actually take it in. Even if you're not traveling for like a vacation, you may be somewhere that who knows if you'll ever go there again. Like I was in Texas, I was in Wyoming. I don't know when next I'm going to Wyoming. I don't know when next I'm going to the place I was in Texas. So if you're able to, try to do something fun, or, you know, even if you don't have a car and you're like confined to a hotel room or staying with someone, maybe you can DoorDash unique food from that area, but just try to actually be mindful I was reading this book on Audible called The Things We Notice When We Slow Down. I'll link it below. And it was really insightful about mindfulness and just being aware of where you are. So just something about my travel this summer and a lot of things that have happened personally has really made me realize that, just don't take any moment for granted. Really try to take in and absorb, life around you. It's super important. And the third thing I would say about travel, always pack just a little bit more than you think you need. So story time with me, I, as I mentioned before, I was traveling during the great IT outage of 2024. And when I got to the airport that morning at like 5 or 6 a.m., actually I got there like really early at 5 a.m. because I originally had a 7 a.m. flight. My flight did not leave at 7 a.m. But when I got there, I actually called my husband and I was in line to check in one of my bags and I said, honey, I see the news here. I've never been to the airport and seen the news standing there doing a story. So it's like, I wonder if something's happened. And then as soon as I hung up with my husband, the people in line in front of me said, yeah, there was a big, massive IT outage and it's caused a bunch of delays. Now, I am so determined. I was still like, you know what? I'm gonna pray about it. I'm just gonna try to get on this flight. God willing, I make it to Texas. I was gonna do a booth for my work and get to tell people about the work that I do and hopefully get more people to support our nonprofit. And so I really wanted to go for this conference I'd been looking forward to. And so all that being said, I get on my first flight, which was super delayed. And the weekend, it went on with a few hiccups because obviously I got there late. I missed most of the first day, which was a Friday. Saturday, there was less people at the conference, I think, than would have been without all the IT stuff. But Sunday, when it came time to fly home, of course, the IT stuff had backed all of the airlines back by a couple days. And so I got an extra day at a hotel, but this was the first time I was glad that I had packed extra underwear. I always pack like twice as much underwear as I need. I always pack a couple extra outfits. I always pack a little bit more than I think I'm gonna need. And normally it's like, why do you need 10 pairs of underwear if you're going for 5 days? But in this case, I ended up flying home on Monday. I flew home Monday, even though my original flight was Sunday. But my original airline, they didn't even have flights until like Wednesday. So all of that to say, it's okay. I am here to validate you. If you're that person who always packs a little bit more than you need, it's okay, because you never know when you're gonna be caught in a global IT outage. So anyway, that was my Wednesday word for this week, is travel. Comment below with where you guys are traveling to, where you want to still travel to this summer, or as summer turns into fall and into winter. Where are you guys going? And what does that look like for you? And what are your favorite travel hacks? Don't forget to follow my channel if you want to hear next week's Wednesday word. And until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday.